Welcome to Co-op Mode, round 163. This is the official video game podcast of Secret Friends Unite. I am one of your hosts, Todd Oxtra, living strong, living large, on the verge of my 50th birthday. Oh my God. I am living the dream. I was just talking about this. I got my ARP, if you can see it, my ARP, AARP membership in the mail the day before. They're stalking me, but I like discounts. So you know what? I welcome it. On my 50th birthday, I'm going to the auto show because I'm going to get myself a midlife crisis mobile because that's what you do.
Yep.
And I'm looking to see if anybody can get me a ticket for free. And other than that, I'm going to get a lot of discounts. So I'm already in old man mode. So I'm ready to go.
Is that when you start getting your senior discount in the U.S. is 50?
It depends. It depends. It can be 50, 55, 60, 65. You know what, Dan? Some people tell me I look young. Some people don't admit how old I look because they want to be nice to me. You know what? I'll take it. I'm bald and I got a little gray hair on the side. So you know what? I could be anywhere from 35.
Yeah, Todd, I would have never guessed that you were about to turn 50. So you look great, brother.
I'm young at heart. I exude youth and exuberance.
That's how you stay young.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whereas Charlie started going gray in college. So there you go. So it's like, it's all over the boat, but he's got a full head of hair and he's tall. So yeah. Life is how it is. But that leads us into the rest of the members of the show. That is our returning champion, Mark Carabin. He survived the U.S. He survived Disney. I don't know if he's got any money left in his bank account, maybe a couple of loonies, but he is back and eating some Timbits.
Yeah, you know what? I did actually stop for Timbits pretty quickly upon returning to Canada. Because they're great. My son wanted some, and I was like, "Yep, all right, that's happening."
Yep. We've got a question from
what
a guest we haven't even announced yet.
Donut hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tim Hortons?
Is that a Tim Hortons thing?
Tim Hortons.
Yeah. Timbits. You got like 25. Delicious. My hometown actually still has a Tim Hortons. So it's I guess if you're watching online, you've seen him because he's always online. He's staying online. He'll see us online, and that's Mr. Daniel Wenchick. You know what, Dan? I tried to spell your name out of Walenzik.
There you go. Walenzik.
Well, you never know. Whatever. I've got friends from all different spaces. Sometimes it's a chick. Sometimes it's a sick. Yeah. And you're also AKA DaddyDwally, aka the NerdChat banhammer, always calling out his moderators.
Permaban. Todd was. I'm going to cut in right there. Todd was permaban from our last show. Thank you for having me, Mark. Todd, on the other hand, he was trolling us. He was attacking Xbox games. He's never satisfied. He was complaining about indie. Then he ended up loving it. He was complaining about Starfield. He never started playing it. And now he's complaining about South of Midnight. But then he's like, well, actually, I'm having a great time. So Todd, on permaband, you are welcome back to the show, and we got to get Mark on there for real. Mark, it's good to see you. I'm excited to hear about some of your adventures in Disney World, and I'm happy to be here, boys, as always. Todd, I'm giving you crap, but it was a funny episode for sure. Hopefully, actually, there's no clips of Todd getting permaband out there, no shorts. Shocking. So glad to be here, boys. Let's get to it.
I'm not in jail. I'm still here.
And he might be number 2 intern now. Eric might have passed you. I'm sorry.
Well, the great part about this, Dan, you can challenge anything Canadian that Eric has said, and Mark can validate. So, they're both in that same neck of town.
That's so weird. Isn't that weird that they're so
It is. It's so weird. I cannot believe how many people I've met from the farthest reaches of Canada through
Mark. My only 2 Canadian friends, Mark and Eric, are
exactly.
Neighbors.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so weird. Yeah.
I flew out from his city to
so odd. So odd. Mark has to travel like 200 miles before he even gets to like an airport. And then he's like, I'm still like 3 days away from New York. Yeah. And then, because we try to meet up. We tried to do some things and meet up, but it's very hard. Mark is practically in Greenland, and maybe that's what you're doing next, Mark. Move to Greenland and then put up the Greenland
US
Defense
citizen.
Force. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
we'll see how this goes. But we are here to talk about video games. It's so much fun when we are talking about all the awesome people that make this show happen. And Mark, who are those people?
Those are the amazing people over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite, including Our besties tier, Derek Trevelyan, aka the Figure Dude, Francie, the official hairstylist of SFU, Xbox Expansion Pass, Luke Lore, and Charlie's Uncle Tim. Our friends with benefits tier just got a little boost. We're going to talk about some of those in a second. But first off, I want to thank John Sedorf, Phoenix Sisters Entertainment, Brendan Myers, Corian HD, the Boss Rush CEO, Matthew Keel, Kurt Krug, and Tanya Lee, as well as one of our new members we're going to focus on today, Chipotle Bear. Thank you so much for joining. And we've got a few other new members from the contest that we've been running, including famous Seamus. Congratulations. Cam, the movie man. Awesome guy. Jay Newport 007. Congrats. Just talking about 007 tonight. Watch that like tiny little tease from the Switch 2 reveal.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Game.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped. And finally, Brian Osterman, aka Prozac Man, aka Darth Prozac.
Great.
Thank
name.
you to everyone that entered. Fantastic new additions to the show. And all of those new additions are thanks to our Secret Friends Super Squad. That's Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias.
Sponsored all 5.
Is incredible. Sponsored all 5 of those. Did this little contest for us. And just an amazing, supportive family. They are absolutely the best. If you didn't win, if you're listening for the first time and you want to check out all this stuff, you can head over to patreon.com/secretfriendsunite, where you can get, again, exclusive shows, no ads, Discord benefits for as little as $2 a month. And now you can actually get 50% off your first month as a little promo. So you can go to the top tier you want to, or you can start at that $2 tier and get 50% off. So literally $1. What else can you buy for $1? Go check us out, patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Thank you to everyone. And Todd, we're focusing right now on Chipotle Bear. That's
right. One of the benefits you get to becoming a Friends with Benefits membership is on every show we do, you get a specific shout out. And on this show, you get a power up. So
Yes.
And Mark, we've kind of not exactly defined what the power is. Is it just in a video game? Is it in real life? Well, we are letting each host determine that, and every person that gives it. So because Dan is good friends with Chipotle Bear, they've known each other for years, and they do the show together. Dan, you get to give the first power up to Jose.
Got it. So I need to give a co-op shout out to @Chipotle Bear. He's the producer over at the NerdChat. Shout out to one of my
We don't have any good drops. I wish I did.
best friends. I've known him since middle school. So wow. And I'm just realized that I'm 40 now, so I've known him a long time. Dear God. So here's the thing. I thought of 2. I have one for real life and one for a video game superpower. Okay.
Ooh, I love that.
Real life superpower. Jose is a big food guy, loves food, loves spicy chicken sandwiches from Popeyes, loves Mexican. He loves that
chip and cockroach.
So, number 1 superpower in the real world, Jose will be able to eat whatever he wants, and it will have no effect on his body.
No acid reflux.
He will maintain his perfect figure no matter what. Eat as much as you want, don't gain weight. Or if you think, I need to be a little bit more muscular, he'll gain some muscle. I want to lose a little bit to this figure. He gets to eat whatever.
He gets abs and has no abs.
Exactly. No more. So that's real power number 1. In-game superpower. I would love Chipotle Bear to have like an overdrive where he just sits, go ham and go crazy. Like in Call of Duty, he can be a little timid. You know, he likes to sneak around. He'll get his kills every now and then. But then I want him to have his ability to just go off on people and rage out and go on like killing sprees in Warzone, Halo, etc. Because I feel like he's a little too nice sometimes, and he just needs to go ham. So that's what my
Turbo
superpower
boost
would be. Yeah, and some sort of like something like that, or in video games. So shout out Jose, I love you.
God mode, maybe like a Doom God mode or something like that.
It's more of a like clutch mode. Like he gets play of the game.
Adrenaline mode. You're like,
exactly.
Yeah. Like in Doom, yeah.
Everything slows down. You can see all the plays.
Yes.
You can see all the kills. You're almost in bullet time, but everyone else is just like, what's happening right now?
In the zone.
Like roadie run ×2.
Yeah. There we go. So shout out Jose.
Yeah. Does he have to scream anything before that happens? Is it like Leroy Jenkins?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yes. Like that kind of.
No, I like the Leroy Jenkins. The Leroy Jenkins power. That's what the Leroy Jenkins power.
That's true. Yeah. Goes in, everybody dies. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. You know what? I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna follow Dan's lead with a real life and a video game power up. But I'm going to put a little twist on it. They're both the same power up. And that power up is Fireball. In any situation at any given time, Chipotle Bear can summon the power of the spiciness in his name and turn that into a fireball. So whether it's real life, throw a fireball. If it's a video game, always have the fire power up. No fire power up in the game? There is now. Doesn't matter. If it's Call of Duty, Fireball. Super Mario, Fireball. Doesn't matter. Every single time, every single situation, Chipotle Bear.
The answer is Fireball.
That's right. That is right.
It's like Homer when he got a shotgun. He just used the shotgun for everything. Turning the TV channel.
When your only tool is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Chipotle Bear, Fireball.
Love it. Love it. Okay. I am inspired by both of you guys. So I'm going to I'm going to give him a real life power up. It is, I think I'm leaning into Mark's, where Jose likes to cook. And I think he's going to have the ability to have the perfect temperature whenever he cooks. Doesn't have to worry about it. It's set. Boom. Forget. It's done. No preheat. Nothing. It's set. If he's doing a charcoal grill, boom. It's done. If he's setting the grass grill, it's set.
Pretty sweet. So it's perfect like temperature. The dehydrator in Back to the Future too. That
set it and forget it
right away. Just boom.
It's all ready to go. He can't screw it up. Nothing will happen. He can walk away, and it's still okay. Right? When you're a dad, you will get distracted when you're cooking. Something's going to go wrong, and last thing you want is like the fireplace. Fire alarm. Nobody's happy, and you ruin dinner, and then you got to get takeout. So that's his real life power. Right temperature all the time. All the time, the food never gets ruined. In video game, though, he has the ability to always be better than Dan. He's going to have one more kill. He's going to have one more dollar earned. If it's a high score, he is going to always be the last at the finish line in a race.
You know what, Todd? I'm not even mad about that because recently, no cap, Jose's been killing it in Call of Duty. Like he turns into Chris Kyle, the sniper from American Sniper.
Love it.
Like out of control. Like every game, I'm not exaggerating. He's one kill better than me, and I'm usually the one who tears it up. It's already happened. This might have already been given to him in real life. So I'm just
Jose, unless he puts out a thing in real life that we never see, he just seems like the last person to ever brag or drag anyone. He's so supportive.
Yeah.
Does he? I don't know.
He was bragging. He was bragging.
Okay.
He had a 10 kill game or something like that. Yeah. He was like, I was dominating out there. He bragged a little. He finally let it out.
Mark was so supportive of me when I played Mario Kart with him one night with the wife, and he was like actually like being kind when I'm horrible. Like he didn't make me feel horrible. So yeah, we like those people, the enablers, the Sherpas. Props.
You gotta
very good. Yeah, this is awesome. So Jose, enjoy that superpower. Enjoy your benefits. I told him, hey man, redeem that sub tonight. So I told him. He said he was going to do it, but he got distracted like a dad would. So get on there, get in our Discord, tell us what topics you want us to talk about. Enjoy all your benefits. So there we go. So folks, this is the part of the podcast where it really begins. So buy, rent, and return. We're going back to Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, I don't know, whatever the family video in Colorado was, Dan.
We had Blockbuster.
Okay, there you go. I did not in my little town. We had like just the Video Hut was the place that I had that a friend family owned. There was always like 2 copies, or go to the grocery store and get the tag.
Yeah, we had a grocery store one too. And fun fact though, the Blockbuster that we had in my hometown here in Lakewood, it was one of those ones that like lasted as long as
way too long.
I wouldn't say way too long. It fought to stick around, but then now it's like a urgent care or something, you know.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's so lame. Ours is now like an MMA training site, which is so weird. It's like no brand. I'm like, hey, it's still around.
Wow.
Hey, still good.
Mine's
good.
a pet store.
But
That's
okay.
Yeah.
Very good. I wonder if they kept all the, like, there's a secret room that has all the adult pet store stuff. Gotta go behind the curtain.
What is adult pet store stuff?
They didn't have that at Blockbuster, Todd.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's not adult pets, but it's like the illegal pets, Mark. So it's like
okay.
Here's an anaconda that we're selling. You know, it's like the secret room that you don't tell them. They like, yeah, I got this. My buddy imported it. It's the Tiger King section, as we'd say.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Well, Byron returned this week. Since Mark and I were chatting about what should we talk about, well, a pack-in game became a very, very controversial thing with Nintendo. So this week we said, well, let's talk about pack-in games, and what were the best pack-in games. And when I was doing research, I tried to find other great examples of great pack-in games, but Nintendo had them all. I mean, I love Astrobot in the PS5, but it's not a full game. It's a nice demo showing what to do, but it's not a full game. But the ones I picked were God almighty. They were system sellers. They're the games you always went back to. They're amazing. So the ones I picked were the Game Boy with Tetris. And I don't know if it always came with Tetris, but I assumed it did. So I found a picture of the package. The Control Deck. Now, this is a weird one because not every Nintendo came with Super Mario Brothers. Some came with like Duck Hunt and Gyromite, which is the one I had with the gun, and Rob the robot. But they still came with something. So I picked the one with Mario. And then Wii with Wii Sports. Talk about the killer app for a system. So that's the 3 I picked. So gentlemen, at that point, I mean, these are all affordable systems, all under, a price that made sense. And the killer app, they didn't say we should charge more. They said this is what's going to bring people to keep playing the system and never let it go. So Dan, you're our guest. Between these 3, what would you buy? What would you rent? And what would you return?
I have to say, right off the top, these are all banger slangers, right? They're all pretty solid. Mm-hmm. But in my eyes, there are 2 in particular that are the standard, and one in particular that is number 1. So right off the bat, I'm going to have to return Wii Sports. I'm sorry. It was cool that first, day or two. Seeing your mom and dad, your grandpa, oh, let's go bowling, let's play tennis. It was a gimmick, just like the Wii in general became a gimmick, and I never played it after a certain amount of time. Okay, actually, fun fact, sold my Wii to go to see Third Eye Blind in Salt Lake City. That's my profit. So that's what happened to my Wii back in 2007.
More, I respect you even more.
Even more funny is
we got a Grayson sighting. We got a Grayson sighting.
If you're going to come here, say hi, Todd. That's Todd.
Hello,
hi, Todd.
Grayson. How are you?
And that's Mark. Say hi, Mark.
I'm Mark.
Mark, do you know where Mark was? He was just in Disney World, and he just built a droid. Mark, do you have any Star Wars gear by you right now that you could show Grayson? And not only does Mark,
I have.
What is that?
Look at this.
Oh,
he made that lightsaber.
Does it work?
This is Gunji's lightsaber. Actually, this is a replica of my favorite lightsaber ever, Gunji the Wookiee Jedi. This is his wooden lightsaber.
Do you know what? Have you seen him in any of your shows?
Nope.
Gunji the Wookiee Jedi. What show is that from?
He is in
Young Jedi Adventures,
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
He's in Clone Wars, and he's in 1 or 2 episodes of The Bad Batch.
And Bad Batch. A Wookiee Jedi.
He's a Wookiee
you don't
Jedi.
Remember a Wookiee Jedi?
I might.
Okay. Yeah, he's probably seen him. Thank you, Mark, for showing him that.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I always happy to talk to a Star Wars fan.
Tackle.
Later.
now we have to guilt Dan to take the kids.
So anyway, back to Wii Sports. So yeah, Wii Sports sold it. My parents waited at launch in like blizzard weather to get it for me. And they got one at launch.
What?
And then I ended up selling it like a month later. Back to rent. this is where I struggled, but in the end, I have to go with my heart. As much as I love Super Mario Brothers, the first one on Nintendo, an instant classic, I would rent that simply because when I think of that game, it's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but there are other better Mario games: Super Mario 3, Super Mario World, the GOAT.
Oh, yeah.
And what I really remember from Super Mario Bros. On the NES is just the first pipe level, underground level, getting up and just skipping everything. Like, I don't even know if I've ever played every single level in that game. Probably not. And I don't even know if I've ever beat it. I know. I should do it on my Switch. I really should. That should be a goal for me. I have beaten Mario 2. I don't know if I've beaten 3 all the way. So that's why I would return that. But the one I would buy.
Come on, Dan. You didn't see the wizard and say, I got to do that. I got to be better than Fred Savage.
I've never seen the wizard. People have told me about that too. I know. I haven't seen it. I know.
Oh, my God.
And so finally that leaves Tetris. That's my buy. Just one of the greatest games ever made. I can still pick up Tetris and absolutely love playing it. So Tetris on the Game Boy, like I said.
Tetris?
Yes, exactly. One of the best games ever.
Yay.
That's the one I would buy.
Fantastic. Have you guys, I'm going to pause for 2 seconds before we share our picks, Todd. Have you guys seen the Tetris movie on Apple TV Plus?
I've not. I heard it was good. I've heard it was good.
It's amazing.
I just watched it again, literally like 2 weeks ago, right before I left for Florida. And it is so good. And they talk about, like, that's the crux of the movie, is like trying to get it and him.
That's the one with what's his face, right?
Hank Rogers is the main person, but it's
Egerton. Yeah. I need to watch. I got to get Allie to watch that.
It's so good.
It is so good. It's so and my wife watched it. She is a Tetris fan, not like a big doesn't play video games 24/7. Wasn't really like, oh, I need to watch something about like the creation of Tetris kind of thing, but like it is engaging. It's almost like a spy thriller at points.
Oh, it's perfect.
It is a wildly entertaining movie and based on true events. And the crux of it is him trying to, convincing Nintendo they're ready to launch the Game Boy. He's one of the first people to see it, and they're ready to launch the Game Boy with a Mario game. And he's like, no, launch it with this because it's one of the best games ever made. And I mean, you just
I gotta watch it.
The road to rights and leading to Russia and all the crazy things were amazing. What's that one? What's the song, Mark? That's in Russian. That's great during the race chase. That's right. It's in Russian, and then they use like the video game graphics for the cars. It's so well done. It's not realistic, but
I'll watch it. I know you guys. Don't worry. I'm gonna watch it.
Good.
And by the way, hold on. Don't mind me. I'm just going to go beat my son. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, Mark, and believe me, we've already called Child Protective Services on Dan. It's never stuck. Yeah, he's got his wife has allowed him to destroy his son, so that's okay.
As long as he knows to beat him with a sock full of oranges, so it doesn't leave too much bruising.
That's the key to it. That's the key to child welfare. Do we want to go through like some of the socials while we're waiting for Dan to finish with his child?
Let's do that. You want to take the first one? We've got Chipotle.
Yeah, the NerdChat. Well, maybe we'll save that until Dan comes back. We'll go to the General Mills Video Game Club. And I guess we've got a new co-host. This is for Nick Culver. He says, buy Tetris, rent Mario, return Wii Sports. He says, Tetris provides massive value replayability, which makes it an easy S-tier game and obvious buy. Super Mario is fine and certainly classic, but unless you're going to speedrun or anything like that, you're going to play through a couple of times, then you're done. Seems like a something. I cut it off. Sorry. Okay, great. I maybe move it over a little bit more. And then lastly, Wii Sports is fun in doses, but not a ton of depth, and really is just a tech demo for the Wiimotes. I could see an argument for rent, but I think Mario is better, which forces the return choice.
Yep. All based answers.
Got it. Mark, do you want to hit Schloss?
Yeah, absolutely. From our Discord, Slosh Ritter, by NES Super Mario Brothers was the most expansive game that I had played to that point. After we previously owned an Atari 2600, being the only game that I owned for a bit gave me enough time to get good enough to beat it, unlike most subsequent action games that I've played. Dan, you just said like it 2 is tough, 3 is hard to beat. I think most of us kind of put enough time into Super Mario World that we were able to get close to, if not the end, but like they get tough. But Super Mario the original Super Mario Brothers, like, you kind of, depending on when you got that and how many other games you had, like, it was just get good. Like that was the answer.
A lot of Nintendo games, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Rent, Game Boy Tetris is iconic indeed, and I was instantly hooked. The music is still stuck in my head after many years. However,
that's a good point.
Oh yeah, it's arguably not even the best version of Tetris out at the time, and the gameplay can quickly get repetitive compared to other genres.
Ask Hillary Clinton which the best version is. Hillary Clinton was known to use a Game Boy play Tetris on Air Force One.
Wow,
which is just crazy. Yeah, Game Boy went far and deep.
And there were a couple of shots of Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson playing their like original Game Boys on like the set of one of the Avengers movies. I think that it was rumored they were playing Tetris or something like it was like that game's got legs, and it's
apparently back in the 80s in Japanese subways, it was all people playing Tetris.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And return Wii Sports seems like the popular answer. I never got around to buying a Wii, so I have no experience with this. I think I've seen it has a variety of activities that appeal to many types of players, though. It had legs as a tech demo, but
it's Blue Ocean.
It definitely had a moment there at the launch.
It
absolutely.
That's a great way to describe it, Dan.
Yeah.
It had its moment.
Blue Ocean. Yep.
Yeah.
Ever do whatever it has to do. Dan,
some nerd chat.
Do you want to do the nerd chat as the guest?
Sorry, I got to pull up the notes here. Which one is it?
Other socials.
Okay, I see it. So Chipotle Bear, he said, based Jose, exactly. Buy Tetris on the Game Boy, rent the NES with Super Mario, and of course, return the Wii with Wii Sports. X Bacon Gaming said, buy the NES. The rest of them don't matter for a caca. Okay, thanks.
That is a wild thing to say about Tetris.
You're right. I kind of just glazed over that. Bacon 5-minute timeout for disrespecting Tetris. And Eric, NerdChat #1 intern now. Oh my God, Eric. Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm within driving distance to hit him with a sock.
Dude, this is absolutely it. This is in Eric Permaband. Buy the Wii with Wii Sports, rent the NES with Super Mario, and return the Game Boy Virtual. Wow.
Hold up.
He kicked your childhood in the Jimmy.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on.
Oh.
He underneath that. I don't know, and I don't know if you cut something off there, but it does say virtual.
No, that
console.
was it. I think maybe that's what he's saying. It's like because it had the Wii had virtual console, but we're talking about the packing game.
Or he's talking about the weird box.
I'm reading that is buy the Wii, as in right now you would buy a Wii because you can't play
for the virtual
Wii Sports.
You can play these on the virtual console.
I'm interpreting this as like you can play Super Mario Brothers and you can play Tetris, the Game Boy version, on not the virtual console. What's it called? Nintendo.
This isn't about this.
That's not
the
intent of the question here. No, I'm sorry.
I know that's
yes,
but I think that
Eric goes into it. And I'm just looking at the post right now. And what does Eric then respond with? A weird meme of Ravi drums going insane. So for that,
okay, yeah,
I agree.
It's these Gen Zers. Am I right, Todd? I don't know what Eric's problem is.
Yeah, what are these kids doing? Oh my goodness, disrespecting the game. Oh my goodness. Well, that was, these are fun, and I got to give mine. And I'm going to be a little bit of the cold and hot. Hopefully, won't offend anybody with their childhood memories. Nintendo's a hard spot, but I am going to buy the NES. I love the NES. I bought the NES from my neighbor who got it from a basically a flea market. He had the whole Zapper edition with Rob the Robot, played Gumshoe, played all those games, TNC Surf Designs, all those. And I loved playing Super Mario Brothers because I actually played that game at the arcade. I'm like, how can I be playing an arcade game in my home? My first console was Atari 5200, which was a pile of crap. So for me, it was like, this is reality. I saved up for it. I told my parents this is what I needed, and it happened. So that is my buy. My rent, though, is the Wii, because I had so much fun with the Wii, with my son playing Wii bowling. Parents, we had a lot of fun. I really had a good time. But I can't say much else about the Wii. I didn't really love the console. The problem with the Game Boy, though, I wasn't playing Game Boy. I was going after girls because I was a little bit older than you guys. So for me, I didn't have that touch point. My neighbor had it, who I
It doesn't matter, Todd. It's Tetris.
I know, but my neighbor, I don't know if he lost his Tetris Game Boy. I never owned a Game Boy. So what he had, though, was like, was it Super Mario Land? I tried a little bit of that. I'm like, oh, this is okay. And so, yeah, I don't have the memory of playing Tetris on the Game Boy because I never owned it. So I can't, I feel like it's an incomplete. It's just like I didn't own it. I can't comment.
I saw Mark going crazy there. So Mark, I don't know if you want to say
something. What are you supposed to do?
I kind of get his logic
with time and give Todd a Game Boy, Mark.
No, I see
the time machine.
I see his logic with the memories of the kid.
I understand
and
the logic. Okay. I understand the logic. I have fantastic memories of my grandmother playing her first video game ever as Wii Sports and beating my brother, a video game fanatic who is usually better than me at video games. And she beat him at Wii Sports Baseball. One of my favorite gaming memories of all time. I'm returning that without hesitation.
F grandma.
Zero hesitation. That game is being returned as a pack-in. I respect the game. Like Dan said at the start, these are all fantastic games. Selling points of the system, showcases of what those systems can do. But at the end of the day, the Wii Sports, everything was a gimmick. I just played through Super Mario Brothers on the flight home. Literally like 4 days ago. I passed an hour of the flight playing through start to finish Super Mario Brothers, and then played halfway through the Super Mario Brothers Plus because I was playing the All-Star version on my Game Boy. But it was still like that original Super Mario Brothers NES, just with prettier graphics.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my buy, is Super Mario Brothers. There is a reason for that, and the reason is similar to Todd, but I make sense. And I never owned a Game Boy either. My cousins owned the original Game Boy.
Really?
I owned a Game Boy Color. That was my first Game Boy system ever. I bought it with Pokemon Blue. It was this Game Boy, the one that's tattooed on my arm. That greenish blue Game Boy Color. And I bought it with Pokemon. That's what this tattoo kind of reminds me of. And that was right after my family's first trip to Disney World. So very like topical and on point. But it didn't come packed in with Tetris. I do remember playing Tetris on my cousin's giant brick Game Boy way back in the day. And being slightly too young to really appreciate it, but also like the first time I played a puzzle game and it gets stuck in your head, even when you're closing your eyes, you're still seeing the blocks falling. And returning to it later through emulation or Virtual Console or Nintendo Switch Online, you can see the cultural impact and the staying power that Tetris has had through other iterations. So the reason it gets my return is because I did kind of miss that cultural moment of it being packed in with a Game Boy, the Game Boy blowing up, all that kind of stuff. I have slight memories of playing it in that fashion, but most of my memories are going back to it through other means. But as a cultural standpoint, I think Tetris is one of the greatest games ever made in any iteration. And I think this is probably the most iconic iteration of that game. So you can't really argue with it as a buy. But for me personally, it gets knocked down to rent just because of the nostalgia I have for Super Mario Brothers, as my first console ever was an NES with Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. It is a game that's just comfort food for me. Like I said, I got bored on the plane. My son stole my iPad. I was like halfway through watching Indiana Jones. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do now? Okay, let's play Super Mario Brothers. That's my comfort food. So those are my picks, but like I can understand the swapping of Tetris and Mario Brothers for sure. And Todd, I like that you went the nostalgia route. I respect that, even if you're wrong.
Hey, Secret Friends Unite, let me tell you about Zencastr. We use them for our show, and now they're supporting us. Zencastr is now the all-in-one solution making podcasting easy. It's the ultimate web-based podcasting solution. Provides high-quality audio and video podcast production and hosting. With a full suite of professional tools, podcasters can seamlessly record, produce, and publish studio-quality content, all from one dashboard. Being a creator has never been easier. And we chose Zencastr because of the ease of use, high quality output, and it makes it super easy for our guests to come on. We had multiple solutions we tried before, and Zencastr has just been the best fit for us. Why Zencastr? It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sounds and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Have you ever worried what you sound like? Zencastr's post-production process makes you sound buttery smooth. It automatically removes those ums and ahs in your recording. It removes those awkward pauses in conversation too. Set the right podcast loudness and levels while reducing background noise with the click of a button. So if you're interested in making an easy, high-quality podcast just with the click of a browser button, go to zencastr.com/pricing and use my code SFU1. You'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Now back to the show.
Correct.
Well, some of us are right, some of us are wrong, and some of us are just don't give enough. But with that, gentlemen, it's funny because when I looked through it, I'm like, Xbox has never had a pack-in game, which is weird, and PlayStation didn't either until Astro. They had, but the first thing they had though was they had that damn demo disc, which was amazing because like here's 24 games you could try out, and I'm like that's pretty amazing too. And then Genesis was like weird because it came with Altered Beast at launch. Right. And nobody likes that game.
Weird choice.
Yeah. So weird choice. Eventually came with Sonic years later, but there you go. So, but there was no pack-in game for the GBA. There was no pack-in game for the DS. There was no pack-in game for the 3DS, unless I think there may be something online.
There was
with
a pack-in game
stuff.
for the DS, but it was a demo as well.
AR?
The original, I think it was original DS, maybe 3DS. Which one had the Metroid game? Is it DS?
It had to be the DS then.
Yes.
3DS
DS?
did not.
I just played Fusion and Zero Mission. Great games.
Okay. Yeah.
No, 3DS, they charged you for that stupid like sub game.
Yeah, no. So
Which was a
DS
demo
had
game.
the Metroid Prime game, right? Metroid Prime Hunters.
Yeah, the demo. The
demo did come with. My brother was the first person I know that picked up the 3DS, and his came with, or the DS, and his came with that. And I picked mine up a few months later, and it didn't come with that pack-in anymore. So that was like a buy it at launch kind of like special demo edition,
kind of like becoming a 3DS ambassador, right? So it was one of those.
Yeah, it was really early on. He had the silver one.
And then the Wii U came with Nintendo Land, I believe. That was the only other one that had the last pack-in game Nintendo had was Nintendo Land. So there we go.
I think that was only the 32 gig model, the black one.
It was the white one. Yeah, it was not the. It was the black one. It was not the white one. Yeah, that was a weird one that I think had a Skylanders edition or something like that. So weird. Oh well, but there you go. Pack-in games. Not always guaranteed, but I think it was kind of an era I'd love to see come back. Put something in the package you get so you can actually enjoy something without having to purchase it first. So that is what we've been buying and renting and returning. Now we got to get to what we've been gaming. So Dan, you're a guest. What have you been gaming, man?
Oh God, Mark! I don't know if you've heard of this game called Final Fantasy 16, which originally lost on the PS5 and is on PC now. Mark, have you played this game?
No, he has not.
No.
Of course not. You know why, Mark? Because it's not a game you play. It's a game you watch. Mark, I have my stats up right now. I'm on Steam. Guess how many hours? So I've played 52 hours in this game. How many hours do you think has been actual gameplay where I am physically moving the character and having combat and having fun? I want you to take a guess out of that 52 hours.
I want to say like 50. Is there that?
No,
it's going to be something insane, isn't it? It's going to be like 25, like half.
I would say, I'm not even exaggerating, that maybe total of gameplay where you are fighting and having fun has been 5 hours of that 52 hours.
Fudge.
The rest of that time, yes, Todd, I'm not exaggerating. Todd, I'm not exaggerating. The rest of the time, Mark, you are going to a character, you are listening to dialogue for 5 minutes. Then they're like, hey, we want you to go get this item. You're fast traveling to a map. You're walking across a desolate map, and maybe you'll have 2 encounters that take seconds. You're picking up an item. Then you're fast traveling back to that person, and you're watching Clive do the same hand motion where they never show what it is because it's beneath the screen. And then you're listening to dialogue for another 5 minutes. And then if you're not doing that, you're listening to just cutscenes everywhere else. I'm not exaggerating. There's a cutscene only video on YouTube that's 40 hours long.
Jesus.
Okay. So I'm not exaggerating when I say you watch this game. Todd and I have been going back and forth. He loves it because of the story. I'm sorry, unless you absolutely love this story and get absolutely engrossed by it, I cannot recommend this game. I want it to be over. You are not playing a game. You are watching. There have been multiple nights, Mark, where I've been falling asleep because I'm just sitting on my couch listening to cutscenes over. It's kind of
Permaban Dan.
I've been skipping.
Finally,
I want to ask a question.
Here, you know what? Wait, Mark, and you know what's funny? And I'm going to prove myself right, Mark, here, because I have a 30-minute clip of me doing a main quest, and I'm going to publish this to YouTube, and I promise I will send it to you once I publish it, and you will see what I am talking about. I took a 30-minute video, you guys. This is a typical mission in Final Fantasy 16. Mark, go ahead.
Why are you sticking with this?
Because I'm one of the psychos who, when he starts the game, I have to finish it. Even if it's pain. Because in Final Fantasy 16 defense, there are moments. The combat is excellent. It's really, really good. I wish it would let me do it more often. The acting by Clive is phenomenal. He's a great character, great voice actor. Highlight. And the cutscenes
from Game of Thrones
are well made.
His name is,
Okay. It's Ben Starr. So, the actor is Ben Starr. So
yes, Clive.
Those things, like last night I was playing and I was actually having fun, but it's because I got to like a dungeon. It's like you go to these cities and you have to clear them out of these crystals. Those are literally the only fun parts because it's like, hey, you're here, you got to kill these baddies and you're going to fight this epic boss at the end. And that's when it's fun.
Okay.
In between all of that, the worst. And I think, Todd, you can agree that there are some critiques about that being the same.
Oh, absolutely.
Todd is obsessed with it, and it's fine.
I'm not obsessed. My son, absolutely. Dan, my son is an Elden Lord. He loves Sekiro. He loves gameplay. He absorbed FF16. He played on the highest difficulty. He loved it. He goes, Dad, I love the gameplay. I love the counters. I'm like,
when it lets you play.
He doesn't watch movies. He's a YouTube kid. He
must have been skipping all the cutscenes, or he just really
time
loved
to beat 38 hours, main plus sides, 58 and a half, completion is 81.
Exactly.
So what are you doing?
I've been doing every side quest, and I'm probably right on pace
Dan's
to do
falling
everything.
Asleep because he's old. And
I'm skipping cutscenes now, Todd. I'm barely watching the main quest. Mark, go look up cutscenes only, 40 hours on
Dan
YouTube.
blames Sony. I say blame Square because has Square ever made a game that didn't have a lot of cutscenes?
No, see, that's where I disagree. Yes, Todd. Final Fantasy VII Remake, I just played that last year. I didn't feel like this. Final Fantasy 15, I didn't feel like this.
Well, 16, they said they were trying to make it more of a Western RPG. It's not even an RPG. It's an action adventure.
Oh, it's a straight up action game when you can play it.
No RPG.
With insane cutscenes, Mark. So
I agree.
I'll stop here.
It's bloated. It's got its issues, but I did enjoy it. I like the story. But Dan, it's not.
There's
not
no
like 5
exaggeration.
hours.
20 hours and 20 minutes. Final Fantasy 16, all cutscenes. It is the second
Correct.
thing
Out
on
of
YouTube.
potentially
That's just cutscene. That's not even like there are no battles in there, right?
No,
exactly.
No.
See,
But out of 81 hours, if you want a worse game, check out any Kojima games because Kojima.
I don't know if it's worse, Todd.
It's worse. It's worse.
There's another one
worse.
that's 22 hours and 34 minutes. So like there is some discrepancy of like a couple of hours between some of these, but it's all like 20 hours plus.
Isn't that insane?
Crazy.
That's just straight cutscenes.
I've got some of those
and talking to people.
Check out later.
Okay, don't do it. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing. I'm getting close, Todd. I'm about to get, I think, the last icon that you can get, and then I think I'm ready to take Ultima. I have been doing the side stuff, but I'm just pressing A and skipping everything. Whenever I'm talking to a side quest, I don't care.
Are you enjoying the icon battles though?
I think they're good. I still think other games do the Elden Ring battles better. I do like the overall combat, Todd. I completely agree. I think it's phenomenal.
No, it's a flawed game. Dan, I don't blame you. It has some issues. Yes.
I think the combat in this, like I've heard, is like Devil May Cry. It makes me want to play Devil May Cry. But I also hear that I also think that Final Fantasy VII's combat, although not as fluid and as fun as this, I think that is better because they do a great job incorporating the turn base with like selecting a power, being able to slow down and do cool movements.
I agree.
Still do a summon.
It's more nuanced.
Which I appreciate. So overall, if you're interested in Final Fantasy, go play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think that's a great one. And then I've been playing
story over combat. Definitely play 16. I think
exactly. If you're all about lore and you like are big Game of Thrones fans, which I never finished, or if you're just into like that fantasy world and you really just want to enjoy watching a movie, because Todd, another thing I forgot to mention,
sexy man.
A lot of butts in this, a lot of sitting naked on a beach. But I forgot. There's 3 rings you can equip to make things. You can literally equip a ring that auto dodges. You can equip a ring that I have one that your dog pet that you travel with. He'll just do his own attacks. You don't have to worry about controlling him. And I think there's another one where. Like what's the other one? There's one where like
parry, isn't it parry, dodge, and
there's one that slows down the parry. There's one that also will automatically use one of your other abilities, and so you can make it to where you're just watching and barely doing the combat. I've turned on the auto dodge at this point. I've done it long enough. I'm like, I'm over it. I get it. Like I'm just ready to get through it.
Yeah, it's not a complex game by all means, and I felt like I was not challenged. I don't think I died, so I was just in it for the story and had a good time. My son was playing it too, so we were both into it. He loved it, but he played at the hardest difficulty. So when you play at the hardest difficulty, it does add more challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Like the normal difficulty on this is pretty easy. Like you want to
don't punish yourself, man.
I gotta get through it.
You and Bacon,
I beat Final Fantasy 7. I beat Final Fantasy 8. I beat Final Fantasy 10. I beat Final Fantasy. I almost beat 13. Didn't get quite. I beat 15. I beat 7 Remake. I have to continue. I started 9. I know I need to finish that. And I bought. What's cool though is this made me buy 8 and 12. They're both on sale, and I'm excited to play those older.
I heard we are getting a 9 remake, which is
so that's why I'm going to wait, because I bought that on my Switch, guys, and I got really far into it, and then my cloud save, after it expired, I don't have it, and so I lost all my progress. Okay. I can't do that again.
So Dan, I think we've come to terms. We will not talk about Final Fantasy 16 again.
Never. Until you watch my 30-minute video that I'm going to send to Mark.
I'm watching.
Last word. Dan.
Oh, that's it. Go ahead.
Right.
Who's next?
All right, Mark.
Yeah. So I
talking about a slight game.
I beat Super Mario Brothers on the plane. Always a fun time. I like.
Wait, Mark. You legit did every level. You're that much of a pro gamer.
No, for this run, I did skip a few. I only did the first skip, and then I decided to beat the last few levels.
Nice.
I started a run after I beat the game, and you start the plus mode, and then that one kind of I got a little bit far and then died. So then I started a fresh one, and that one I did intend to beat every single level through. Nice. I've done that before. It's a lot.
You have to do save states, right? Though,
yeah, exactly. I would have to do the save states.
You can't just put it down, right? Because you can't. Or can it pause it?
Yeah, I can do save states. Yeah. But I've done it in one sitting before. where you just,
It's not a
it
long
doesn't take
game.
long to beat the
Yeah.
whole thing. No, it's even if you beat every single level, it's not super long, but I'll do save states. I don't do like the rewinding or anything like that, but I will if I'm closing the Game Boy or something and coming back to it, I think that's fair. So I played that on the plane, but Disney World kind of took me away from gaming for the better part of or over a week. Aside from like the
I got one question about Disney World though, Mark.
Okay.
Is the Xbox Center still there, or is it gone?
I think that's gone because I did not see any kind of Xbox.
All those Xbox. They had all these Xbox 360s with like Skylanders and all these things at Disney World, and all the controllers were broken. It was the saddest thing you ever saw.
Had a little gamer spot
with Logan. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. It was so like, what are we even doing here? Why is it still here? Because like half of the screens didn't even like show the video, and it was the weird. I think it was even like Star Wars Lego in Skylanders, or maybe something like that. Maybe.
Wow. Not even Disney Infinity. I could picture that. Like
maybe there was obviously no figures you could put on it. So I mean, fairly limited. Yeah,
it's a weird one. No, did not find that. Sadly, no gaming section in Disney World. But I have been dipping my toe into Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition on my brother's request. He is, speaking of a long game, he's like 30 or 40 hours into this. I am not yet, and the start reminds me of exactly what you're saying of Final Fantasy 16. I've been told to stick with it, but holy tap dancing Christ, game. The start is hard to get through. It's the same thing over and over again. You talk to one person and they say like, okay, here's how we landed on this planet, and here's how Earth got destroyed, and here's the aliens that destroyed us, and here's what we're trying to do now. And then you follow them to a city, and then you talk to another person who's like, yeah, I guess you don't remember Earth getting destroyed because you have amnesia. Well, here's how it went down. And then you walk to another place and someone else is like, hey, I'm in charge here. Too bad you don't remember what's going on. It's like, oh, not again. And they go through the same cutscene again. And it's just like, I know this. Please stop holding my hand. Let me discover some things on my own. And my brother said, you don't even get your skell, your mech or whatever until 20 hours in. So that was a while.
Mark, I just looked up how long to beat.
6 hours. Yeah.
Main story, 56 hours. Okay. Main plus side, 77. Completionist, 130. So dude, minimal 56 hours.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna like slow burn this game. I was playing it just before I went for a little walk before we started recording. It's good. It's I think once I get past this tutorial thing, I think it'll be really good. The world seems interesting. The story seems intriguing enough. I just need them to stop holding my hand and just let me run. The combat is really cool. It's interesting so far. So I'm interested, and I know where some of it's going to go. I know, you get your armor suit and you get more customization stuff. You get your skell, your big mech kind of thing. And it really, really opens up the world. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think I'm willing to at least put, 20 some hours into it to get to that part where it really opens up. And then I think if I put that much into it, I'll probably end up putting 50, 60, 70 hours into this thing, because then it'll open up that, that Iron Man mech fantasy kind of thing that, some games have done really well, some games have not, but it's even like Anthem was like entertaining for me just to jump in something and pretend I'm Iron Man for a couple minutes.
So wait, Mark.
Wait.
So Dan, ask Mark, has he finished Indiana Jones first though?
I was just thinking that before he started speaking. I was going to be like, have you finished Indiana? And if he hasn't, that's okay.
I haven't finished
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is Game of the Year 2024, yes. Mark. You just remember that.
And here's the fun thing. I mentioned that I watched Indiana Jones on the plane. I watched The Last Crusade on the plane.
Great. Oh, it's just the best.
Disney World always gets me in an Indiana Jones mood because
do they still have the Indiana Jones ride?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do the experience
here.
The spectacular. Okay.
Is the ball ride still right?
So that's in Disneyland, but they are building, and I saw where the construction is. They're building a new Indiana Jones ride in Animal.
That's what I've heard.
Yes.
So I was fully ready to go for Indiana Jones. So now I'm back, and that's my Xbox game, and Xenoblade is my Switch game. So I will finish Indiana Jones.
Mark, so wait, no spoilers. Where are you in Indy?
It's been a while, and I can't remember.
Did you leave the Vatican?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you past the dry space?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Ooh. Are you in a wetland?
No, he's not. He's still.
I think I just.
Is that how it goes? I'm trying to remember how it goes.
Just left the Vatican and maybe played for another hour.
Yeah, what's crazy, Mark, is you got a long ways to go. I'm not going to lie. It's amazing. It's good. Yeah, it gets better and better. It's crazy. Yeah. It's so good.
It opens up. Yeah,
I'm so jealous.
I say leave the Vatican. Some people don't enjoy that, but I'm like, that's where
I spent 17 hours in the Vatican.
Just leave the Vatican.
Yeah.
If you're
you're in for such a treat.
You can't go back.
Which is
time in the Vatican.
Yes, you can, Todd.
Yeah. You can spend a lot of time because I did spend a lot.
Well, there's one trophy apparently you can't go back and get if you miss it, which just pissed me off.
Did you just call it a trophy? Disgusting.
Oh, whatever. I played it on Xbox on PC. Whatever that is.
It's okay. There's trophies now. There's achievement. There's both now. Since it's on PlayStation.
What does Steam get? It stickers? I don't know.
A perfect game when you get all the achievements.
And that's the thing I keep seeing. I keep seeing PlayStation ads for this game. So like every single thing is
coming out.
Play this game again.
You're gonna love it, Mark.
I'm fully in. I'm fully ready to go. And
that's the best experience on PlayStation 5 Pro.
Best experience on a PC, Todd. Okay,
I'm sure it is. For $3,000. Yes, there we go. Bacon loves it. Oh, well. Mark, anything else?
No, that's about it. What have you been playing?
All right. So, it's so great because I have a new best friend. That's Chris, 1H, 1D. He keeps pinging me every day. Are we playing Split Fiction? And I say yes. We are playing that game together. We are having so much fun. We're just chatting, having a good time. The game has so many good mechanics. I love this game. It's perfect. If you own it on one system, you can play it on anything else. So I highly recommend you guys all play it. It's coming to Switch 2, so you can play it there. Mark and I can play. I can play with you, Dan, if you want to join me on EA. If you have code, you can join me.
I'll definitely want to play that whenever it comes to EA Access.
Yeah.
Gladly. I got to ask though, is it really just taking ideas from other games and putting them into one?
It's inspired. I mean, that's exactly what it's doing. It's having fun. There's an Assassin's Creed level. You jump.
I'm just saying. It sounds to me like we're stealing ideas and just putting it into one. But all right, Joseph Ferris, you win. But you're getting a Game of the Year again. Okay.
But think about it. It's got I think I've seen 35 styles of gameplay that work really well. Think about how many games try to do 3 different things and they're not very good. Think of with GTA. GTA does not have the best driving, doesn't have the best shooting, but
it's pretty good driving, Todd.
It's a good package. Well, Dan, I remember playing it on my Sony Vaio when I went to Saudi Arabia, playing GTA 3 and playing that. And I'm
did you play 5?
It was horrible. No, 3.
Oh, okay. No, 5 is Dan,
this will tell you how old it is. I remember starting up GTA 5 and I got to the strip club and my son. Well, no, I don't remember maybe it was 360. My son comes down. I'm like, oh, no. You can't have my son see me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I'm like, I will play it as an adult. So before GTA 6 comes out, I will play it.
Hey, guess what it's on? It's on Game Pass. It's coming to Game Pass. And
I own it on probably every version. I own it on a million things. I've never played it. I haven't gotten past where I think it's one of the dudes has to do a mission where he's working in the city. So I don't know. I don't know.
It is worth playing the campaign.
That's what I'm saying. I will. I mean, I'll play it.
3 characters. I think it is very cool, and the ending. But the best thing about Grand Theft Auto is, and you don't get to experience. Well, you could, but I still have. We were just talking about this in our nerd chat earlier today. My brother. We have amazing memories of playing GTA Online and doing these heists. The heist co-op missions were some of the best ever in any game I've ever played. Up there with Destiny raids, but not as difficult. And so those moments are absolutely phenomenal. And you get some of that in the campaign, but there's nothing like doing it with 4 of your best friends. So I will say, I do think it's worth your time, Todd. I mean, maybe you could play that with your son. I don't know. He seems like he's busy doing other PC game nerd games. But
yeah. He's so busy, but we'll once he's back for the summer, we'll figure out what we're doing for gaming. Now, quick question. This is just a random question I have. Will GTA 5 come to Switch too? This question.
I don't think so, Mark. I think you're muted. I don't think so because if it's only the power of a PS4 in the Switch 2, I mean, if it's
GTA 5, not 6.
Oh, sorry, GTA
5.
Oh, GTA 5. Oh, yeah, GTA 5. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
I thought you meant 6.
They haven't announced it. There hasn't been a GTA on a Nintendo platform since Chinatown Wars on the DS.
Yeah, dude. Why wouldn't they? Yeah, absolutely. Put that.
Oh
on
no,
Switch.
the collection came to Switch, right? Though.
Yeah, the collection's on
GTA,
Switch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we get it. So that makes sense. What about the online for GTA 5?
Yeah, put that on
Switch. Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. We don't even know when GTA 6 is coming, so we don't know. I just was wondering because I think that'd be kind of cool because that opens up another
Yeah, I think
revenue
that would be
stream
cool.
for Rockstar, and they got to put that game everywhere. Okay, cool. So yeah, been playing Split Fiction. Love that game to pieces. Been playing more Avowed, but the game that honestly I've been looking forward to, but I heard so much negative noise on it that I'm like, am I going to like this game or not? It's South of Midnight. So South of Midnight is right up my alley. This is the type of game I love. This is a artistic action platformer that has a really cool story, amazing aesthetic, and is just a lot of fun. If you want to learn about the Deep South, if you want to understand a aesthetic that looks like it's so the opening cutscene is claymation. But then they cut to more of an animated state that looks like Into the Spider-Verse, which is great. It's like they say it's animated on the 2s or whatever. So it kind of skips I guess a frame or something. So it looks a bit more stocky. And some people, that's annoyed them. I haven't noticed any changes. I have not turned my frame rate to be one way or the other to play it differently. Some people think it's erratic, but I don't think so. But this game is great. I really love the art style. I love the aesthetic. I love the sound. It's amazing. Like the music, the sound, all of the soundtrack behind it. It's really amazing. And it's about a girl. Well, she's not a girl. She's like I think she's 17, 18, about to move out of the house. Her mom's works in a crisis center and she lives in Louisiana. Let's call it that. I don't know if it is, but basically, a hurricane's going to come and they have to evacuate. And this is something they have had to do many times. And there is a obvious issue between the mom and the daughter where the mom is always trying to help other people, but the daughter feels like the mom's over there for her. So it's a cool conflict. And she's going out to check on the neighbors, the daughter, and the mom gets swept away in her trailer. And she's trying to reach her. And basically then leads us almost like it's Alice in Wonderland, where it leads you into where you find out the family and the people of this area, they have like this almost supernatural group called the Weavers, where they will go and they have special abilities to take on the supernatural and those aesthetics. This game really personifies style in a way that balances trauma, good gameplay, okay gameplay, but is definitely benefit from the style, the aesthetic. And I think the platforming is amazing. I think that's where I think the platforming is amazing. It makes me feel like Kena was it Bridge of Spirits. It makes me feel like Recore, those type of games. If you like those type of games, you'll like this. But to expect this to be a AAA game of the year, I think is what it's getting people to feel numb on this game. Yeah. It's not that type of game.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, Todd, I completely agree with you. And on the combat thing, it's like, I haven't played it. I can't wait to play it. Again, I have to finish 16 before I get to this. I've been waiting for South of Midnight. It sounds exactly like my game. Did you play Flintlock by any chance? Either of you guys? Siege of Dawn?
I did not like Flintlock because I didn't like the story. I thought the story was
that's fine.
Didn't get me.
I liked that combat, and I liked their surprisingly amount of platforming in that. So I love games where I'm third person platforming, boosting, simple combat. Like
Yes.
that's why I can't wait to play it to see for myself. Like I feel like people are just being a little too hard on this whole combat thing. It's like, why can't games just be what, like, we don't need everything to be, I need a Souls combat or a Final Fantasy 16 combat or Devil May Cry. Like, why can't it just be something fun and simple? And everyone's like, well, it gets repetitive. I could say that about any combat system. Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like people, Todd, I'm right there with you, are being a little too hard on this game, especially when I hear, but the music's great, the character is great, the story is great, the artwork is amazing. Like, it has all these things. So we're going to knock it down just because the combat isn't a Souls game. Like, I don't know. I just feel like people are being hard on it, like you said.
Yeah.
I will say, Dan, you'll experience this too. There's two mechanics I feel like that are tied to cooldowns, which is infuriating. So think about like a pull and a push mechanic. Like I'm grabbing something, I'm pushing it. That feels like a regular mechanic you have. Mm-hmm. Imagine if that's on a cooldown.
And you have to use it a lot. Yeah, that would be annoying.
And you have to lose it. But they said, later in the game, you get more. Basically, there's a way to do in a skill tree to add it on. I'm like, that's frustrating if you have to wait until and I'm on chapter 4 out of 12.
Gotcha.
And if I'm hearing that now and I'm going to have to, and then all the good stuff I could put into it, or I could put into a mechanic that I feels like it's almost like a double jump. Say if double jump was on a cooldown, would you be happy about that?
No, so this is the stamina bar from Breath of the Wild.
I was just thinking that. I was like, this sounds just like Breath of the Wild stamina bar. Like, what are you complaining about?
But it's like essentially what you're trying to do is like there's one enemy that is like thinking about like a nest of bees, and it will launch bees at you, and so you have to grab it, and then you have to throw it.
Sounds like
if you miss, you're on a cooldown. You can't do it again. So then you're just doing melee. So it feels like it's taken away.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's even like, hell, if you remember Half-Life with the gravity gun.
Yes.
Put the gravity gun on a cooldown. How fun would that be?
Gotcha.
That's what I'm talking about.
So you're saying pro strat for me, I need to invest in this push-pull mechanic.
You can't do it early though.
I was going to ask the same question. Okay, like did you just put it in the wrong stats and then you can't? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, this feels like an easy fix and unless it breaks the game, this feels like the developers to say we should just not make this a cooldown. We should just make it a mechanic, like a double jump, a wall.
Have there been reasons for the cooldown that you've experienced so far?
I think it's just to make the combat more difficult. I think that's the only reason, Mark. Where it's like you got so many enemies and you have to do this, and some you do this, you go away. I like the combat. I think it's great. And yes, maybe it's a little more simplistic than other people want because they're used to like the very hardcore. But I don't know. I like it and where it's going, but that's not going to make me stop the game or feel like, it's a lesser, because Compulsion Games, what they've done is they've done several different games, have different types. This is their first like action combat game in a way, and they've always leaned into style. So, I think they could have benefited from maybe some support from the other Xbox studios to say, hey, you want to do this? Maybe you do this. So I don't know. There should be some more linkage, but I think this game is it's my jam. So I'm liking it, but I do have it's not going to hurt the game. I mean,
it's one that would like benefit from a sequel. You'd love to see them. Add on to this.
And I feel like that team needs something where it's like this game is good enough where people will play more and they get to do it versus like, this game didn't work. We happy if you didn't work, so we're going to go on and do the fourth game. They need to have something that says we agree that people love this, and a next game will deliver it. We've seen so many great franchises that don't nail it the first time. Assassin's Creed,
they need their Assassin's Creed too.
They need like two where it comes like this game it delivers. So I hope they do. I'm enjoying it. It's there. It's on Game Pass. There's no reason not to try it, and it's a short game. It's not like it's 35. It's not like it's 55 hours or 85 hours of cutscenes. The cutscenes that are there, but they are always meaningful. So like I try to listen to like podcasts when I game. I can't because all the good stuff is happening and it's meaningful. It's not like overwhelming you with content like in Avowed. Like Dan, we've all said this. how many conversations, like, I can only ask you so many times to do these things. Let's move on. So it's like, this one is not. It's definitely hitting the tone of giving you just enough to move forward with the story and what you're doing next. So I like it. I like this a lot. The character's amazing. The catfish that talks to you is great. And I'm getting into a point where there's a new character called Two-Toed Tom, which is a big crocagator. And I don't know about him yet, but I'm hearing about him. And I heard that's where the game starts really flourishing. So definitely check it out. It looks great. It's family friendly. I don't think there's anything scary. You could do it around your kids too, which is fun.
Is the cooldown mechanic, is it something that feels like it could be patched where even if it's in your skill tree, maybe you have, I'm thinking of like Tony Hawk or something where some of the characters have like their skill trees a little bit higher as default characters kind of thing. Like, is this something they could go in and patch, like add a couple from the start so the cooldown's a little bit reduced or something?
I think so.
Would that make it a better experience? Like,
I think it could just be a simple unlock and it wouldn't hurt the experience.
All right.
This just feels like filler and to make it harder, which if a lot of people are playing this for just the experience of where it is, they're not looking for a harder experience. They're making for a fun experience. And having that just makes it more frustrating.
I wonder if they could do like an easy mode patch or something like that, where it literally just turns off the cooldown story mode kind of thing. Like, I wonder if we'll see that, especially where it is an Xbox Studio now. And it is kind of like pitching as like, this is one of our big spring games. This is something we want everyone to play. It's on Game Pass. Like, I hope Xbox, if a lot of people are complaining about it, and I haven't really seen a ton of this game aside from listening to you, but it sounds like something that if that's holding people back, like, guys, release a patch for this, make it story mode, do a toggle, add a couple of things. If maybe if there's something later in the game where it like comes into play as strategy or something, like there's got to be a way around it to kind of like mitigate some of that early frustration and allow you to enjoy it.
Yeah. And I've seen some comments like, Luke Laura said, I want this game to be over. And that's like, ooh, that's rough. Right. Which is rough because Lucas said he loves story in games, but then a lot of recently I've seen where Luke really that's loves gameplay over story. Yeah. So it's like it's hard. So nobody, I don't know. And this is what
I can't wait to play it, Todd. Yeah. I can't wait to play it. I know I'm gonna love it. Yeah, I know I'm gonna love it. I mean,
show your wife some of the cutscenes.
Okay.
Because I think she'll be like, this is really impressive. It reminds me of like a Leica film that you saw. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. So the characters have so much joy in life. And I want Xbox to do things like this. I don't want it just to be like, well, we tried and didn't work. But yet Hellblade, I know I've had challenges with that game, but that game is not family friendly.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of, Todd, is like, how can Luke say he wants this to be over, but he loved Hellblade? Hellblade is like a mostly story, barely any combat. And like,
he's not like engaging.
Exactly.
Like,
I know it can't be better than what's in South of Midnight. And he loved Hellblade. Yes. Like, that was so surprising to me. So yeah,
it's very challenging because he's like, well, what do you like? Do you like? And Lucas said, well, this is funny. Luke has been on their show for SFU. He talks about he likes dark and dreary things, so he likes the Snyderverse. So he's more drawn to like
Hellblade.
I need some like rock metal and da. Yeah, so Hellblade fits him more than this, which I feel is more like James and the Giant Peach. There's even giant peaches in this game, so this feels more like fanciful Tim Burton style than So enough. I like this game a lot, and I'm going to play more. I'm just going back to this, and it's between this, Avowed, and I do have Assassin's Creed Shadows coming from GameFly, so I will try that game. I've never stuck with a Assassin's Creed game, even though I've liked them. I will see if that game sticks the landing with me, but I don't want a 85-hour experience.
Nice. I purchased it on Steam to support Ubisoft, but I'm going to get to that down the road.
Yeah. And I know, Mark, I don't know where you're at in the game. I know you played it. And
it's good. Yeah. Really good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, very good. Okay. Well, that's what we've been playing. So now it's time to get to the bonus round. I have titled this Bait and Switch because Mark left the country. He's like, everything's going to be good. I'm going to pre-order when I get back. Maybe I'll be pre-ordering at Disney. I don't know what's going to happen.
My brother and I were literally planning to pre-order. So the pre-order day, we were going to be at Magic Kingdom. And depending on what time the pre-orders, we had booked a couple of rides and had restaurant plans and this and that. But we were like, there's going to be 10 of us there. And most of them have cell phones. So if we can kind of get everyone in queues at Best Buy, Amazon, this place, that place, whatever, like someone's going to get a pre-order. And I had my like intent to purchase things through Nintendo anyway. So it was like mainly try to get one for my brother. 10 of us, one of us is going to lock in. Like we had these plans talking about it before we went down. And then it all kind of went to caca.
Yeah. Dan, what is your intent to buy or pre-order with Switch 2?
I was all in before, but then after the Direct, I kind of changed my mind a little bit. I still think I'm going to try to get one. And the only reason really now for me is like, I'm not a big Mario Kart fan. That just doesn't do it for me. Yeah. It really is to play Tears of the Kingdom in the upper one because that's
really
I have it back there.
Okay.
Still haven't played it. I've played Breath of the Wild, haven't played Tears.
So you waited for the better experience.
Correct. And then I'm waiting to play Metroid Prime 4 on there. I played Metroid Prime 1 originally on the GameCube, loved it. Never played 2 or 3, but I will. Because Lord knows Nintendo can't give us a way to play that. You know, God forbid they just give us some HD remasters of that and Wind Waker. But I'm just gonna wait and play 4. So I think so. But if I don't get it, I'm not gonna be like freaking out about it because the plan was to get it and then give my son my Switch OLED because he's just got a light right now. So.
Oh, so you already have an OLED and a Switch in your household. So
Correct.
This would be like you're not trading in; you're just getting an additional Switch.
I would probably have to trade in or sell my Legion Go, but then I kind of want to hold on to that for the potential new ROG Xbox Ally, whatever. So that's probably where that's going to go.
Got it. Okay. So Mark, I can just tell you my intent to buy is my son has my Switch at college, so I have no Switch. I have an OLED. I have nothing to trade in, but I have the money to get the Switch 2 because I'm all in on Donkey Kong. The GameCube online is very exciting to me because maybe I'll get to play Eternal Darkness on the
so scary
NSO, which game is like all but forgotten, but that's the only place that we could say we're going to do a ROM port. And it's going to be a little more high res, and that's what we'll give you. So accept it. So that's where I'm at. So I will probably buy one just because there's going to be games. Like I'm a Donkey Kong stan. I'm going to play that game because I don't know if we're getting a Odyssey yet. I'm going to get the GameCube games, and maybe there'll be other games. And that's
we're not getting an Odyssey. Isn't that confirmed? Like the team that made Odyssey?
I don't know.
We don't know. I think we don't know.
We got to get eventually another.
Oh yeah, eventually, but I don't think you're getting it anytime soon.
No, probably not Odyssey 2. But that's where I'm at. So I will be buying one. I just don't know how much I'll be spending because right now they said $450, $500 with the Mario Kart.
You got to get the Mario Kart one. I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, because you'll save $30 because we know that Mario Kart World will be $80. So that's where I'm at. I will buy one system. Mark, what about you? What's your household going to do?
Before the price announcement, we were gung-ho, ready to go. My wife was going to sell her OLED. I was going to give mine just straight out to my son. And we were thinking about buying 2 because my wife loves her Switch. But now with the price given and kind of the
what's the current Canadian price after you saw it?
$629 with the bundle. Which, if you do a straight conversion of US to Canadian dollars, we're actually saving, I think, 30 to 40, maybe even $50 if you did a straight
So
conversion.
you'd be like at 470 US?
Yeah, it's something like, I think a straight conversion of like,
because we're at 500 US with the bundle.
Yeah.
His is here it is. I got it right now. $639 Canadian dollars is $458 US dollars.
Oh, so the bundle, he's actually getting the bundle for free
for $40 cheaper.
For free. Yeah.
Man,
Dang
can't
it,
wait.
Trump with those tariffs. That's crazy.
So I can't complain too much. The sticker shock is, severe. It's the most expensive Nintendo console ever made. But when I do that conversion, I feel a little bit better about that sticker shock, even though, like I wish the dollar was equal and blah, blah, blah. And it was, less money. So I still have intent to buy one at least. Mainly because my son's freaking out over more levels of his favorite game ever, which is Kirby and the Forgotten Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
He saw that trailer. We watched it again today. And he's nonstop talking about this new Star World and new powers and he loves the look of Mario Kart. He's already talking about Dad, I can drive anywhere. I can go, we can explore together and we can drive across this. So he's super excited over those couple of games. Donkey Kong looks amazing. Being able to play GameCube, especially the two games that they showed off at the start, Wind Waker, my favorite Zelda game. And I put a ridiculous amount of time into Soul Calibur 2 on GameCube. Love that
with
game.
Link.
With Link. I still have my copy. It's upstairs. Actually in my son's room. I have a little GameCube section on a shelf there because it didn't go anywhere else. So I'm pumped for the stuff that we're getting in that launch window. Do I need to get it right away? Absolutely not. If Nintendo doesn't email me that that intent to purchase thing, if I'm not one of the lucky people or my number's not picked right away, if I don't get a pre-order, it's not going to be the end of the world. Just based on the sticker shock and, the launch games and this and that, if I wait for the holidays, if I wait for early next year or pick one up when I can get one, cool. Still have a couple of Switches in the house, still have plenty to play, still have Xbox Game Pass. I'm happy. But I don't, Nintendo doesn't usually drop the price of consoles. We've seen that with the 3DS Ambassador program, but I think the price is the price. I think if there's enough kickback, maybe the price of games could come down. But if I'm getting the bundle, I'm getting Mario Kart with it anyway. So I'm not super concerned with that. So if I buy it right away, or if I buy it in 6 months, I don't think there's going to be a massive price difference of anything or any other incentive to wait. So I might as well get it at launch if I can and, kind of hope for the best there. Otherwise, it's you pick it up when you can pick it up, I guess. But, I have a very, very excited kid almost turning 5 who's just losing his mind over Mario Kart and Kirby. So,
you're so damned. You're so screwed. Yeah. Children will make you insane. My son is do whatever, Dad.
And he knows,
that's fine. He's 19 years old.
He knows that when I get the Switch 2, he can play it on the TV. I don't want him to play it in handheld. Mm-hmm. It's too big. But he also knows that the Switch, my Switch, is going to be his completely.
Yes.
And he loves that idea. He's very excited about that. We talked about it today. We talked about
You'll never see your son again, Mark.
No, we talked about, playing the Switch 2 together. That's, Dad's new expensive console. You can't really take it places because he's dinged up my Switch OLED a little bit. And he's pretty careful with it, but he's 4. So, drops happen. But yeah, so we've had those discussions. So if I can get it, he's excited. I'm excited. Everyone's happy. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
It's going to be interesting because, I just sold my, you'll love this, guys. I got a launch Pro controller. I sold that for $35 just yesterday.
Wow.
My Pro controller, which I don't even know it connects anymore. The guy wanted it. So I'm the Nintendo stuff keeps their price. So I have a lot of the old games. I'm am I going to play Mario Kart 8 now? I don't know. Am I gonna? I've got an actual physical copy. I've got a bunch of physical copies. So I don't know. That leads us into some interesting conversations because I've been trying to sell lots of accessories that quite honestly GameStop won't take, things won't take. I don't know.
Yeah. I can add on to that. So I've got all these physical games, right? Mm-hmm. We've already lost Yoshi's Crafted World once. already. Thanks, Grayson, for that one.
Yes.
I'm wondering, Todd, if I should just trade all these and start buying these digitally, because at least with digitally, I could do the stupid digital cart thing and share that with Grayson if he ever wants to play it. And
Dan, do you have a Costco membership?
I do.
Costco often has deals on their game.
It's already like $10 less. Yeah.
So I think when I signed up for like the the vouchers, so I got a deal on Costco. It was blah blah blah, $80. So I got $100 worth of Nintendo money for $80. Yep. I bought the voucher, so I got games that way. So I think vouchers are still available. So I would definitely do that. Trade them in, put that money towards like the Nintendo cards, and then do it that way, because kids lose shit. My son, holy crap. I had to put like one of those like trackers in my case with all the games. Yeah. And like I was going to I'm like, Logan, do you have like, and this is even college. Logan, do you have my Metroid Prime HD cart? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's a college student. So kids will lose shit, and they'll swallow cards, or they'll lick them, and they'll throw them in the garbage or flush them down the toilet, Dan. That's what they do. Yeah. So go digital if you don't want to lose it. And it sounds like because of the new system, you'll be able to like loan them to people within your family, no problem.
Very easily,
no foul. So that'd be the
only problem is like the Switch memory. Well, actually, he's got a memory card. What am I talking about? And the new one has 256.
The old Switch is fine.
I should switch. Yeah,
the new Switch, obviously, you'll get there. So let's go to the next there. So some of the things that are challenging is the game. I love this, Mark, because we love the Wavebird. We love the GameCube controller. Apparently, the GameCube controller that's coming to NSO on Switch 2 does not work with Switch 2 games. Despite it having all the buttons, can do everything, it does not work with those games.
So you have to get the new one, right? There's the new one that they advertise?
Yeah, it's going to have all the buttons. It's going to have the chat button.
Is this going to work on my Switch 2?
Yeah, apparently they're doing new NES controllers for the Switch 2. Yes. I have that too, Dan. I have it too. I don't know. It should work.
So nostalgic as well.
I think they all work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they should work. It's just weird that the new GameCube controller, which has all the buttons it would need, apparently does not work with Switch 2 games or any Switch games. It's only for the NSO.
It's only for the NSO, which is strange.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, because I think like the NES controller works for other things, right? Like you could play new Super Mario. I'm going to test that. I'm going to test that.
Let us know, Mark. But it's just weird. We don't know how much that's going to cost, but we know you need to have an NSO subscription. And I think you need to have like a Switch. Like if you get a Switch pre-order, you can get it. So it's like even that is not going to be open to everybody in the masses. It's going to be, you're going to need a NSO with the Switch pre-order acceptance and then get that. So that's weird. It's probably going to be $60. So the other part is
I can confirm that the NES, Super Nintendo, N64, and Genesis control pads will all work with the Switch 2, but every single one of those has an asterisk next to it that says works with compatible games. So I'm guessing they are cutting support to make it
online
for NSO.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So that leads us into the next part is Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition doesn't include the DLC. This makes it a $90 game. So the $80 game that you're getting, which would include like the extra editions, doesn't include the DLC that came with Breath of the Wild. So now it's a $90 game.
Do we have a pricing on how to do the upgrade yet or no?
We heard it's $10 for each like upgrade. So if you own the game on Switch 1, it'll be a $10 upgrade to get like the extra resolution, extra frame rate. Plus on Breath of the Wild, I believe you get the ability to upgrade your weapons, control your weapons, and do some other things, which I don't remember.
Or something like that. And then
I think repairs.
Sharing, fast build in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is also $80 for this Nintendo Switch edition, but if you own it, it's $10 to upgrade it.
So this is not a free upgrade like on Xbox where it automatically upgrades your games for 4K.
$10 to upgrade it, or It's
No
there's
smart
a
delivery
separate-
with Nintendo cartridges.
No,
Game
there's
on
a separate
carts.
purchase you can make if you're new to the party and you want to buy a box edition, or probably get it from the Nintendo eShop if you don't already own it.
So the one caveat I will add to this part of the conversation is Nintendo Switch Online is still stupidly cheap.
It is for one person.
Well,
Not if you go on a family, and then you got to
is
do
the
the
expansion pack,
expansions.
right?
Exactly. You have to get the expansion pack, and that does make it more pricey.
It's $50 per person, $80 for a family.
Yeah, so if you can find a full family and split the cost like I do. So like I have, my Switch, my wife, my brother, his fiance, and I think one of my nephews or something like that. However many people, I've filled it completely.
So
we all
folks,
share the
I'm just
cost.
putting this out there. It was Craigslist. I have 4 open members in my family. If you want to join me,
Discord.
I mean, it's so weird.
Share it in Discord. Do what I mean, like, and the Breath of the Wild. I think the DLC is included, and the upgrades are included in the expansion pass.
Mario Kart 2 for 8.
And Mario Kart, but
Animal Crossing
for Switch 2, like the HD or the 4K upgrades are going to be included for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. You do not have to pay for those if you're a Switch Online subscriber.
Correct.
The rest of the
for
games,
the
like
family
Kirby,
edition or
whatever.
single,
But the Switch 2 versions of those upgrades with the DLC, everything is included if you're a subscriber. So I think that's probably the tactic, is pushing people like, here's Breath of the Wild. If you haven't played it yet, it's great. Here's the base game. Doesn't come with the DLC, doesn't come with the HD upgrades. But guess what? Subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online and you get it all for free. Happy birthday, subscribe.
Or you could just buy a old used Switch version, put in your console, Switch 2 console, and then just pay the $10 to upgrade, and then to pay the $10 to get the DLC. So that is a workaround. So there you go. So that's a weird one. Then we have the Switch 2 Tour. Not being a pack-in, it's $10. Astrobot Playroom or whatever, Play Adventure, whatever it's called. It was free on PlayStation 5 to show you like the components of the DualSense. And Nintendo at their direct said, yes, this will be a paid option.
Yep.
Okay, good luck with that. Let's see how many copies you sell.
$10. They said, well, it's cheap. It's $10. I'm like, well, yeah, it's cheap. Why don't you just swallow the cost? I mean, come on. You are charging so much more than this. And it's like, throw us a bone, Nintendo.
Did you hear Shuhei Yoshida? Like their comments say being like, he's like shocked that Nintendo's he's just throwing all kinds of shade at people now. Now he's free from Sony.
Yeah, it's very weird. And Mark, you said, let's talk about Reggie's comments about the fact that Wii Sports almost was not a pack-in.
Yeah. Yeah, so he wasn't really hiding what he was talking about. He went on a podcast and I think shared some tweets or X posts or whatever you want to say. But yeah, he basically said there's a clip and he says it's an understatement to say that Mr. Miyamoto pushed back on the call to make Wii Sports a Wii console pack-in. As we know, this is from IGN. As we know, the Fils-Aimé won the battle to a degree where Wii Sports was bundled with the Wii everywhere except Japan. He made it seem like, Miyamoto, who's usually a happy, fun kind of guy, all of that went out the window. He argued that they were devaluing games. We don't give games away for free. We talked about some pack-ins at the start of this, so you have in the past, but I guess this was different. The Wii was new, but Fils-Aimé made the right call. He argued correctly for this. It's one of the best-selling things. He also argued for the remote to be packed in with Wii Play, which made it the 5th best-selling piece of software on the Wii. Again, super right call. So Reggie's basically, without fully outright saying it, he's saying like, I would have packed this in if I was still in charge. again, the Shuhei Yoshida quote, said I think he said losing their identity or something like that with the Switch 2. Let's see if I can find this. Yes, here's the quote. Okay. To me, it was a bit of a mixed message from Nintendo. In a sense, I think Nintendo is losing their identity, in my opinion. For me, they're always about creating a new experience, designing hardware and games together to create something, an amazing new experience. But Switch 2, as we all anticipated, is just a better Switch, right? It's a larger screen, more powerful processor, higher resolution, 4K 120 frames per second. They even had the hardware person starting their stream, kind of like other platforms do. And because it's a better Switch, the whole core premise of Switch 2 is, we made everything better. And that's just feels like something that other companies do, is basically kind of the end of the quote. So, he's kind of calling Nintendo out for like, you're just like everyone else now, except kind of worse, because Sony's giving away Astrobot as a hardware tour, and you guys are charging $10 for it on top of the most expensive console you've ever made, and every other game is expensive. So it does kind of feel like Nintendo's losing a bit of their soul, identity, funness kind of thing. And
Mark, I was just going to say, like Reggie said he fought for Wii Sports to be a pack-in. I can actually kind of see the argument that Wii Sports should have maybe been a sold game. Like it's a pretty, like you said, it had its moment, and like it was a very popular game that would have sold software for Nintendo, like just on how good it was. But yeah, go ahead.
Hindsight, yes. But the look of it and
you're right.
Of it, I don't know if it wasn't packed in, would you have picked it up?
If it was like $20, if it was like a $20 game, I think so. But like,
I think Nintendo would have charged $20 for it though.
Maybe but maybe 40. But like either way. But then when you look at this, what's the new one called? The Tour, whatever the Tour of the Switch 2 game.
Switch 2 Tour. Yeah,
there's nothing that I've
very
seen.
limited gameplay. It's
exactly there's nothing that they've shown where it's like we're gonna buy this. Whereas Astro, at least you could see, I would pay for this, and Wii Sports absolutely would pay for this. The Switch 2 game, it literally looks like you're walking in like little things, right? And you're just going from console piece to console or hardware piece to hardware piece. So it is interesting. I don't know. Are they losing their identity? Maybe, but I also think that the Switch 2, for me, being a Switch 2 mostly casual, I like, as Logan said, they gave us a lot of things that Nintendo fans or gaming fans in general have wanted, and I'm satisfied with the Switch 2. I have no problem with the price. I think if it's able to run a lot of these games like Cyberpunk, even if it is only at 30 or 40 FPS and it is a PS4 level, you're going to have to pay for it. And I feel like $500 is fair. You're still going to get, the Nintendo software that they're so well known for. I don't have a problem with the price. I do have a problem a little bit with the games, depending on how they price things. But they've already showed us that Donkey Kong's going to be not as expensive as Mario Kart. So maybe all of these people freaking out about the $80 games is for nothing. Maybe it's only going to be a few. Like, it's not going to be everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like I mentioned earlier, like people are going to speak with their wallets, I hope. And Mario Kart, I don't think will be a great comparison because it'll be a pack-in and it'll look like it sold 1 billion copies. But but I think, if games hit a limit that people are like, I'm skipping that or I'm waiting for it to go on sale, I think Nintendo will pivot. And there's already some rumors that Nintendo is having internal talks about the price of games. And they may come back and say, you know what, the Tour, we made the wrong call on that. It's $10. We're going to eat that. It's packed in. It's a free download if you want to play it. Where it hasn't launched yet, and until it launches and until things are kind of really set in stone, they didn't announce any prices. They did say it was going to be paid for the thing, but I think IGN was the one that confirmed.
I think it's
$10, right? But like to your point on the price, like I've looked at some different retro handheld, like the Retroid Pocket 2 is just launching. That's I'll say cheap, relatively cheap, toy Android handheld emulator that can emulate well, maybe up to GameCube. Could probably push some like Wii stuff, but probably struggle on anything harder than that. That thing's like $230 US. And it's like a, Android thing. It's not running like a powerful chipset. It's not doing 4K. It's not, so yeah, we're kind of paying for the quality here for sure.
It's going to be an interesting value point because if this is what the Switch 2 is launching at, how do you get the lower priced option for families? Like Finn, like what is the value area? So it's no longer a $200 Switch Lite. It's a $350 Switch Lite. That is not cheap. That's not an impulse purchase. That's the problem.
Todd, I have a product for you. It's called the Xbox Series S. And Xbox,
absolutely, that's what it is.
Now
it just needs to be a value. You take it around.
No joke. Xbox is now your value console, hands down, for $300 or less, and then you get Game Pass.
Except you need a TV, Dan. That's the problem.
True, but most people have TVs.
A kid for $200. Yeah,
I'm just saying you're right. Handheld wise, Doug Bowser also said we have a product for you. It's the Switch
exactly.
One.
That's a good transit. But I do feel like there's a value equation that Nintendo's always been like. Well,
it's not the value anymore.
Exactly. That's the problem. The games are too expensive. So are you going to buy? And I always think of like, Animal Crossing. You can get Animal Crossing for $200 plus $60 for the game. Now it's going to be $450 plus an $80 game. So you're telling people that are going to be casuals to say you need $530 just to make an Animal Crossing island. That is a Nintendo problem that they just don't understand how to do because it's never been in that price point before. So how do they make a value equation? I don't know. And so this is where they are pricing out a lot of people where they have said that's where we can approach them. Because remember when the 3DS became the 2DS, the wedge for $75.
Yep.
Now Nintendo is just not.
Wedge, I forgot about that thing.
The wedge for whatever, and they showed people. So it didn't include 3D. So that's where I really like. I don't think Nintendo will be able to go beyond the Switch from a install base, but they'll make probably a lot more money because they're just not going to make it a value process. So like Mark and I think about like if you have 2 Switches in your household, and if Finn wants to play Mario Kart World, and you do too. You're into two $80 games, 2 systems. That's $1,000 in today's marketplace. Yeah, that is not affordable for any like 90% of families. So that's where I feel like Nintendo may be getting in a spot where they're getting cocky and greedy. And this isn't the same Nintendo that was Satoru Iwata. This isn't Reggie. This is a Nintendo that feels like the guys that made Love Hotels. So I don't know if Nintendo is infallible, and they could fail, and they could be the cocky game manufacturer like Sony and Xbox where they failed. So we'll see where this goes. But the last thing was Doug Bowser made comments. He said, "We understand the Switch 2 may be very expensive, but we have a family of Switch consoles for you. This is Don Matrix Playbook." He said, "We have a Switch Lite for you. We have an Xbox 360 for you." This is where Nintendo, Doug Bowser looks like the emperor with no clothes. He has no power. He's not Reggie with kicking ass. And I mean, literally, Bowser is control of Nintendo. But the boss of the bad guy in Nintendo is in charge of Nintendo of America. I shake my head.
My only thing is I think Nintendo has way more loyal fans than Xbox has ever experienced. And I don't know, despite everything that Nintendo's doing, if it really is going to be that much of a negative impact on the brand. We'll see, like Mark said.
I don't know.
When this releases, how is it selling? And throughout the rest of the year. I mean, if it keeps up just a decent pace, then Nintendo is just Nintendo. They might just be
I just don't know if people have it in their budget.
People will do anything for them.
I don't know if people have it in budget. I mean, when people we see we see the costs of people what they're having to pay, and we now hear it's like $7,200 in the U.S. that the tariffs will actually add to their value, their year-end expenses. That's a challenge.
Yeah, I think people who want it are going to buy it regardless. I think the price.
I think it will sell out year one. I worry about year 2, year 3, year 4, and beyond, because it will price out consumers.
I agree, but at the same time, that might not be such a bad thing because people will just buy Switches, and maybe the Switch will end up being the number one selling console of all time because of these
I'm curious about how long the Switch will sell. Like PlayStation always better like the 10-year life cycle. The Switch maybe go there, and it's like we'll see. But then they don't sell the software because those games can't run on the new systems, and then Nintendo's not making $80 on because they're renowned for making Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That is the game that has to be the most profitable game in history because essentially made it on the Wii U, added more tracks. And how many copies did they sell? So I worry that they're not going to have those evergreen titles that can do it anymore. They can't just port Wii U titles anymore.
I think
they make it for cheap.
Just fine. I think they're going to be fine.
But they're going to be they're much better because they have Hollywood, they have other things to balance. So they're not so tied into if our console fails, they have IP. And that's where they succeed. Yeah.
Do you guys think they could be launching the Switch 2? Like, could this be their pro console? Like, is there a way to cut costs?
It is their pro console.
This was their pro console.
But I'm wondering if Nintendo Switch 2 Lite could be like the next iteration of this. We're thinking like there's no way of taking this cost down, but is there a way to do a 1080p screen that's not 120 frames a second,
60 hertz,
just
no Joy-Cons,
can play the same kind of thing.
I would actually rather prefer that one, to be honest.
Are they gonna do it for $200 though, Mark?
No.
That's the weird part. At best, it'll be $350, and $350.
That's a great handheld right there.
It's
a lot more expensive than that. $350 is their most expensive console they ever launched, though. Yeah. That's more expensive than the Wii U.
But aren't there like numbers where like with inflation, like they're right where they should be?
Sure, but that inflation don't matter to people.
Yes, who aren't getting more
bills
money,
and they have to choose their food.
And they're spending.
That's why we're like Nintendo has to have a system that's cheap compared to whatever. It can't be like I said, because right now you could buy.
You say that, Todd. Yep. We've seen the PlayStation 5 already go up in price basically everywhere but the United States and Canada, correct?
Yeah.
Probably you're going to see the Xbox go in price. We already know the next Xbox and PS6 are going to be
US, you can buy the Astrobot PS5
for $450
with a disc for $450, which is the same price as the launch.
But you can't play Mario Kart or Donkey Kong on a PS5.
I agree. And they have the IP. It just becomes like it's a value equation. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes.
It's exciting times, am I right, boys? Xbox is doing crazy things. You've got games coming out on PlayStation. You've got a new handheld from Xbox.
We don't even know what Xbox games are coming to the Switch too.
Supposedly Oblivion Remastered is coming out next week. My God, how many games are we going to get? This is crazy, guys.
Xbox handheld is that dark horse kind of thing that's looming behind this. But
the $550 Asus Rogue.
It's going to be more than that. They got to figure out a native Xbox only, not this partnership one. I think what Mark is saying, their own.
And Microsoft needs to take its $3 trillion worth of value and make it dirt cheap.
No, they're just going to
$400. Xbox
hey, we're going to sell our games everywhere. Keep giving us your money.
Yeah, whatever. With apparently Steam involved, so I don't know how that works because then you don't make any money off your games. Steam, we'll figure this out, and Dan will be talking about that on a certain game podcast called The Nerdcast. So, Dan, tell people how they can find that Nerdcast.
Guys, first of all, thank you for having me. As always, I always have a blast on co-op mode. I don't know if you saw it back there. Can you guys see? You guys are right up there. The secret, you can't see it. It's too small.
I see that. I can see it from here.
It's nice and in a care package.
It's on my Lego up there, my 1980s Starship that's up there that I spent hours building in and reliving my childhood. Guys, you can find me at DaddyDwally across all social media. You can follow the show at the NerdChat and Xbox podcast still.
No,
I don't
it's a
know.
PC podcast.
Gaming podcast. Anyway, we
Gaming
record live Thursday nights. Mark, we got to get you on, man. We got to have
Yes,
you and
Mark.
Todd come on.
Yes.
We'll figure it out someday. But
be
yeah,
awesome.
thank you so much for having me. Always have a blast. I'll probably get a Switch. And Todd convinced me I'm probably going to have to sell all of those physical cool games back there and just have my digital collection, Switch on cart, game on cart, digital library. But thank you guys.
Mark, where can people find you?
You can find me online at Canerdian_Jedi on most platforms. I think it's a dot on Blue Sky, but because they don't do the underscores, or hanging out in our Discord group.
Fantastic. And you can follow me at Todd Oxtra on the Blue Sky, Secret Friends Unite on the Blue Sky, at Threads, at Toxtra, at Secret Friends Unite, and on our Discord as well. Check out secretfriendsunite.com and our YouTube channel. We would love to have you there. Charlie just posted an amazing interview and a way to raise money for
you guys have had some good
pancreatic
interviews
cancer.
over there.
Yeah, Will Riker,
Saw
Quark,
those.
that team, and we're going to have some more amazing interviews on Secret Friends Unite. So check out our Patreon as well at Secret Friends Unite, or patreon.com/Secret Friends Unite. So that is amazing. Oh my God. The reason I do this podcast all these years with Mark and all these awesome guests like Dan is I love talking to gamers. We love to have fun. And that's why we do what we do. And remember, folks, it's always better to game together. Dan.
See you online.
Mark.
What?
Oh, I was
never
just
asked me
pointing to
to
you to
say
say something
something.
cool.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Dan's going to say see you online, Dan. Come on. Mark, say
Jesus.
something cool.
May the force be with you.
And with you.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and podcast services around the galaxy, as well as video on our YouTube channel. You can support Secret Friends Unite by becoming a Patreon member, get bonus programs and more over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Join our Discord community for even more discussions on all things geek. For all the latest updates on Secret Friends Unite, make sure to follow us on Threads at secret.friends.unite and visit secretfriendsunite.com. Find our merchandise at TeePublic and Redbubble. Thanks for listening, and may the Force live long and prosper.